Good morning. Just getting ourselves set for the day. A very critical time of year, the beginning of the year. An important time of our lives to make sure that our intentions are in the right place for the year. We need to have our intentions in the right place every single day. We need to have our intentions in the right place in every single moment in order for us to be at our best all of the time. And who has the time to be anything less than their best? We want to be our best for ourselves. We want to be our best for our partners. We want to be our best for our families, our friends, our colleagues, our clients, our members, for our lives. And that means we want to be in the right space on a moment-to-moment basis. We can always bring ourselves to the right space by focusing on our breathing. The breath is what centers us. So any good morning practice, whatever it is, should include some movement, should include some breath. A morning practice can be as simple as just sitting and breathing, or it can just be out for a walk with the dog, or a walk jog, or a workout. As long as you're getting some quiet time, some reflection time, and some forward planning intentional time where you're spending some time thinking about where your energy is going, how we're putting our energy out. The way that we put our energy out is what brings energy back into our lives. So we want to be very conscious and intentional with our energy. Let's just start off on our hands and knees. And we'll just start off with moving our body, extending our body, opposite arm and leg, extending out. And once we get the body moving a little bit, we start producing a little bit more carbon dioxide within the body. And once the carbon dioxide builds up in the body wants to breathe it off. The body wants to bring in fresh oxygen. And so the heart rate and the respiration begin to pick up. And that's what we really want. We want the body to come to a space where it starts to breathe. It starts to take oxygen in. That's what we want to do. We want to oxygenate. We want to move the body to pick up energy, create electrical energy inside. We also want to trigger the body to release some of those key hormones, those key fat-burning hormones that alter our physiology, to release our brain neurotransmitters, to have us in a more happy space. That's what we want. Happy and energetic bodies. To be patient and loving with ourselves and all those involved in our lives. tummy down on the mat. Lifting our chest upwards, looking upwards. That creates a bit of extension through the spine. Allowing the spine to extend and all the muscles associated with the spine to lengthen out or relax. So stretching out the abdominals, stretching out the hips, lifting through the neck, chest, shoulders, upper back. Focusing on the breathing. Centering yourself. Try and lift ourselves up onto our elbows and our toes. Holding ourselves in a plank position, working all the muscles along the front of the body, keeping the body in a nice flat plank. Always coming back to the breathing. That breath being the most key aspect of centering yourself in the moment, bringing yourself to your most powerful space, giving you the most awareness of yourself. It's that awareness of self that we need to know how we're spending our energy, and if we're spending that energy most appropriately. We need to become hyper aware, keenly aware of what we're doing. Allowing the knees to come down. Coming out of that plank position, we'll move into our child's pose. Try to let the head come down to the mat. Relaxing through the spine. Relaxing through the hips. Relaxing through the lower back. Good. Coming back up onto our hands and our knees. Let's try to take our knees off the mat again. Get ourselves up into high plank this time. Shoulders over top of our hands. A nice straight line from the shoulders all the way down to the heels. Holding yourself in plank. If you need to touch your knees at any point, take a break, touch your knees. That's all well and good. Everyone works at their own level. Your attention is to your breathing. Good job. Allowing your knees to come back to the mat. We'll have one leg step forward. If you'd like to keep your back knee on the ground and just lunge forward that way, that's great. Stretching out your back hip flexor, your front hamstring, and focusing on your breathing. Keeping yourself centered, in the moment, in your power, with your breath. Picking up the back leg now, if you can. And if you can't, that's okay too. If you can, take your back knee up off the mat. Back leg nice and straight. Lunging forward into the front leg as much as you can. And I like to hold my positions for 1 to 3 breaths. You should be able to take full breaths in any position or posture or circumstance or situation that you find yourself in. It's very common when we get under stressful situations that we stop breathing and we lose our attention to ourselves. Back knee comes back down now. If you picked it up, we'll switch. Other knee comes back. Other foot goes forward. Lunging forward, keeping your back knee down on the ground. Wonderful. Breathing there. And if you feel comfortable too, if you feel like you can pick up your back knee, lunging forward. Staying with your breath, staying with your focus on bringing oxygen into your body and centering yourself in your most powerful space. If only we had that type of focus all of the time. This is why we practice daily, to try to bring ourselves to that type of awareness daily. Good. Coming up onto our knees, tall if we can. Up on our toes in the back. See if you can reach back. See if you can grab your heels. If you can't grab your heels, you can just put your hands on your lower back and lift your chest up there. We're creating extension in the spine. We're opening up the chest and the shoulders. And we're breathing and being conscious and focused and aware. Your way out of there. Excellent. Coming back to our feet, if we can, slowly. And we'll start off hanging ourselves over to create spinal flexion. We just worked on some extension. Let's make sure we allow flexion to happen. Opposite action for the spine now. Letting the head hang down. Bending at the hips, at the waist. Allowing the spine to flex over. Trying to straighten out those legs and lift your tailbone high to allow gravity to pull you over and lengthen out your hamstrings while you stay present with your breath. Rolling myself up out of there, coming up to tall. We can put our hands on our spine there and lift our chest again. Extension again through the spine. Conscious breathing. Let's clasp our hands, take them up over our heads. We'll move a little bit of lateral action, leaning over to one side. And coming back to center. And leaning over to the other side. And coming back to center. Exhale over. Inhale up. And exhale over. And inhale up. Good. Feet coming close together again. And the hands folding over, reaching down. Let's see if we can grab behind the calves, behind the knees, behind the ankles, wherever you feel comfortable to get a hold of yourself. We call that a bind. And you pull yourself down with your arms. And that creates deeper flexion in the spine. And rolling yourself up and out of there. Good. We'll move back into the lunge position. So I got one leg forward. I got one leg way back. My back foot's on the toe. I'm trying to get my back leg as straight as I can. And I'm just going to try to lift my hands up. Right up over my head and work on my extension again, lifting my chest, arms straight and right out of the shoulders, coming to my breath, lunging forward into the front leg as best I can. Just bringing my attention to breathing. Nicely done. Coming out of there. Back foot comes up to the front. Front foot works its way back to the back. Lunging forward. Let's try to lift up those hands straight up over the head. Lifting your chest high, straightening out the arms. Focusing on your breath. Well done. Hands coming back to the mat. Working the legs back. So we're back into high plank again. Let's press through the hands, lifting our hips high into the air, stretching out the ankles, pushing one heel down, pressing the other heel down, stretching out the ankles. Staying with your breathing, bringing oxygen into your body. Powering yourself up with awareness. Pressing through the hands, allowing the heels to come down to the mat, both of them as best you can. Pressing through those arms to your first downward dog. Relaxing through the neck, through the shoulders. Coming forward from there, back into high plank. Back foot up, and bring that back knee between my hands. Allowing my back knee to come down to the mat. Myself nice and tall, extension through the spine. And then coming over, exhaling. Flexing over the front leg, allowing the head to come down to the mat for breath there. And coming up from there, back into the high plank for a breath or two. Picking your back foot up off the mat, bringing your back knee forward. Allowing your back knee to touch the mat. Tall for extension in the spine again. Big inhale. Flex over. Exhale. Excellent. Pressing ourselves out of there again. Back into high plank. Lifting the tailbone high.
Pressing the heels down. Downward facing dog again. Pressing through those hands. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders, the upper back. Straightening up the arms. And coming forward from there, allowing the knees to come back to the ground if you haven't touched yet. We'll flip ourselves over. Lying down on our backs with our knees bent. Let's try and press and lift our hips up. Clasp our hands back behind our backs. Pressing our elbows and triceps down into the mat, lifting our chest up as high as we can, opening up through the chest, bringing the chest towards the chin, pressing down into the mat, to open up through the front of the body and strengthen through the back of the body. Allowing the hips to come back down. We'll try and lift the hips up, supporting ourselves at the lower back. Lifting the hips up as high as we can. Lifting the feet up as high as we can. Trying to create an inversion of our body. Upside down. Allow the blood and the lymph to drop back towards the heart this time. Using gravity to improve our circulation, staying focused, trying to be present with ourselves by paying attention to our breathing, slowly lowering those legs over the head if you can. Relaxing through the neck, through the lower back. And then slowly unwinding yourself as best you can, lowering those legs down to the mat. And you can relax there in our corpse pose. Hands can be on your tummy or alongside your body. And you can just relax there in the corpse pose. We're going to do a little bit of mindfulness now. And mindfulness can be done in any position, really, that you're comfortable. Mindfulness can be done while you're out for a walk or a walk jog. Mindfulness can happen during a workout. Mindfulness can happen all throughout your day as you become more skilled, more self-aware. Really, it's just paying attention to you, to your breath, to your energy, the energy of you coming to awareness of self. We all have power within ourselves. The problem is that we've got all these limited beliefs about ourselves. All this incorrect, limited thought about ourselves and our circumstances, our situations. So much of our time is spent giving our power away. It's important to take time to build our power up. That is nurturing the self. That is giving power and strength to the self. That is loving yourself. We've all heard that before. We can't give love away until we've taken love for ourselves or given it to ourselves. It's not hard to do. We've just spent some time doing some posture and breath work. Just spent some time stretching out our bodies, creating space within our bodies. Now let's pay attention to that space we've created within our bodies. Just exploring and working and spending time with that energy that we've created within ourselves. Just sitting with the breath. Trying to consciously lift our energy upwards. Energy originates down in the lowest part of our spine. We want to consciously, with each breath, invite that energy up. And each time we breathe out, we allow that energy to rise up and out the crown of our heads and surround us, penetrate out of us to everything and everyone around us. We release loving energy.
Each breath, we draw that energy up into our lives. And with each exhale, we allow that love to penetrate out of our bodies, out through the top of our head, surround us in white light energy. If we can learn to make every breath a power lifting and a love sharing for every moment of our lives, we can create success for ourselves in every moment. Once we've spent some time powering ourselves up with loving energy, it's time to be conscious of the energy that we're putting out around us to everyone else that we interact with in our lives. We can start by focusing on the person that is most important to us in our lives. Think of the person in your life that's most important to you and to your life. Put that person in your mind right now. Let's be very intentional with our energy that we're putting out towards that person. We can do this in our minds. We can do this out loud with affirmation. In our minds or with our voice, we can wish that person wellness, that most important person in our lives. May that person find peace today. May that person find joy today. May that person find love today. May that person find freedom today. And this is a wonderful time to also be very conscious of ourselves. We can say to ourselves in our mind, or we can say it out loud. May I come to realize any thoughts, any words, any beliefs, any energy, any habits, any behaviors that I have, that I hold, that I share, that are interrupting my peace, my joy, my love, my freedom, and the peace, the love, the joy, the freedom, and the wellness of anyone around me. May I come to know any thought, any word, any energy, any belief, any habit, any behavior that I have, that I hold, that I share, that interrupts my peace, joy, love, or freedom, or the peace, love, joy, freedom, or well-being of anyone around me. And that's just a simple prayer, inviting knowledge and wisdom and guidance to come into our lives. And whenever you're ready, you can start to move your fingers and your toes. You can bring yourself back to the present, ready for your day.